Everybody, happy Sunday, Monday. I just left a showing on my way back home now, and I want to do a video that I have been wanting to do to talk about a specific situation that, knock on wood, should be closing on Tuesday. That involves title insurance. And boy, it is a doozy. I actually will be able to make a couple videos off of this one, just with some different situations and the realtor involved and blah 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 blah. But anyways, let's. Situation here, right? I have a seller that bought a property from a neighbor, right? So they actually, know the property and knew the owner and bought the property. They got a deal on it. They're going to make money on it, which is most important. But they got a deal on it whenever they bought it. However, they basically bought it with a quitclaim deed, which is essentially, you can do this, right? A family member wants to give you something, give you land, or you're buying land from a family member or something like that. Quitclaim deed, that you need to change the name or something like that. Go from a business to a person to a business, all that. Very, very common, right? And you can basically go out there and do this stuff yourself at the courthouse, right? The old school way of doing it without involving a realtor, title company, lender, any of that stuff, you can do it. So, they didn't know any better, and most people wouldn't, without getting into real estate and seeing situations, especially like this one. I wouldn't know any better. So it's not common knowledge, but I feel like it's definitely my job to talk about these situations so people don't end up in a potential awful situation, because luckily, what are we doing here, people? Luckily, come on. Go on. You're going to kill us on the dang interstate. Don't emerge. But luckily, it looks like this one, it has worked out. We've had more bumps and stuff. Again, we're going to do a couple videos off this one. But luckily, we're at the finish line. So, talk about the situation. So, when you don't involve a title company, there is no title search. There is nothing, is there any previous owners? Is the property owned free and clear? Did somebody sell it to you, do this, quit claim deed, but there's a mortgage on it? Is there, what is owned, right? Does it require survey? What's the deed language like, right? A lot of people, they just go out there and buy this stuff. They don't. And I will tell you, doing a lot of business in Morgan County, and I'll say no shocker, this one's in Morgan County. A lot of this stuff out there requires a survey. I mean, geez, I'd probably 1 out of every 3 contracts I probably do in Morgan County, unless it's in like some sort of development or something like that, or newer home, requires a survey. It's pretty wild. This is how bad the deed languages are. A lot of handwritten deeds, a lot of people that were just given, handwritten stuff to friends and family. And even though, it might talk about the tree and the corner being 2 foot from the fence post and all that, that stuff's not, there's no surveys. It doesn't actually hold up, right? And usually the acreage is approximate, approximately X amount of acres, and it's not exact, anything like that. So, stuff's got to get a survey. For title to give it title insurance, right? If the title company's saying, hey, this deed language is too vague, or there's bad title stuff going on, we cannot insure it. Here's the thing. If you're getting a loan on a home, your lender will require you to pay for their title insurance. So your lender is getting title insurance on the property because you're going to pay for it. Now it's basically it doesn't necessarily say like this lender's title insurance on it. In the what's called the office statement, when you're signing your final documents to buy a house. But if lenders are going to require you to pay for it for them, why wouldn't you yourself get it, right? Because they're not going to lose money, and this is what I tell people: you don't want to lose money. So, anyways, we get into the contract. Title company comes back on this one, says, "Hey, we can't insure this because for one, it needs a new survey. We got a new survey done. Well, actually, let me back step. We were using the title company that the buyer's agent and buyer's agent one they use. I'll say that. Who was just crap. I've gotten very particular on title companies and lenders over the years. The more business I do, the more contracts I've done and seen, the more I realize there's a bunch of bad lenders, bad title companies, bad all the way around. So I get kind of wary when I'm using a title company that I'm not used to and all that. Well, they were no help. They were crap the whole time. Awful, wouldn't tell me anything. We got a survey done. The survey doesn't do it. We still have this problem. But I was like, what do you need? I don't know. That it's not public. We can't close it. All right. Well, I'll figure it out. So sure enough, they get to my preferred title company, who does a great job on everything. And, we get it figured out what all we need. There was more issues around the access. That's what I'm going to talk about here is the access to the property. So there was a public road. It's paved. But then in front of the home, there's a gravel driveway that goes to the gravel driveway of the home. It's not paved, and there is no name of the road right there. So it is very confusing. So title companies look like, well, hey, it actually doesn't have any access. Like somebody owns this gravel road, so there needs to be an easement access to get to the property. Otherwise, it's going to be landlocked. Well, we pulled up tax maps. We pulled up all kinds of maps. We're looking. It's like that gravel drive is public. It's not privately owned. Gotta talk to the neighbors. They don't own it. So who owns it? Well, there was no recorded information as far as this actually being public. So I end up at the courthouse. I'm making phone calls and talking to people, and luckily, I had some great people in the Morgan County government there get involved and help us out, and we got what we needed. And it come to find out this is public, which we thought it was, but we had to basically get a letterhead, from the county, from the county road department saying that they maintain it and everything like that for the title company to then offer title insurance on it in order basically for the deal to go through. Because the guy who's buying it, again, I'm on the selling side, is a flipper, and his plan is to flip it and sell it. Sure, right? So for him, right, he knows that, he needs to get title insurance on it for his future buyer. Well, I don't blame him. I wouldn't have bought it either if it couldn't get title insurance. So that goes on to the whole thing of, how random is this, right? How crazy is this? And also, this is a very, very small deal, but I treat them all the same. I would have not done anything more or anything less if this deal was any smaller, or if it was $1 million deal, anything like that. I work the same. Just how I'm programmed. I kind of say I don't look at the money that's involved. Plus, it's a learning experience for me. And now I don't say it's very rare. Every now and again, I come across something. We've done 400 something contracts, closed contracts now. So I've seen a lot of stuff in real estate that gets repetitive. But when something like this pops up and it's random, I like problem solving. I hate it when problems come up and it delays stuff and there's problems for the clients. I don't like that. But I view it as a chance for me to learn, because odds are eventually something like this will happen again, and so I'll be in a better situation to know how to solve it, who to call, what's needed, and all that to get ahead of it. But the topic of this video, should you get title insurance? Yes, and yes, you should get title insurance, because in a situation like this, if you have title insurance and something comes back, that was missed by another title company, which I've seen this as well. I've seen stuff come back that was missed by a previous title company, but found by a better title company, deal with probate and issues. But, somebody had title insurance, so was able to basically pay for everything. I've seen people get title insurance on it. They're supposed to be short-term rental, or I've heard of the situation through a friend of a friend. And the title insurance basically fought a lawsuit for this to be, a short-term rental, as they were trying to rezone it, say it's commercial, and it's not. Anyways, title insurance is a good thing. Usually, the only part that probably, is maybe, do you really need it? You know, if you're buying a condo, you know, some sort of HOA, big development, probably not, right? I mean, that's about as safe as a bet as you can get, but there's always a chance. But if you're buying land, if you're buying something that's weird, something that's a probate, somebody's died somewhere along the way, an older home, anything like that, my gosh, get title insurance. This stuff will save you, you know, can save you basically the amount of the property. Something comes back and, you know, they insure it. You buy something, you get title insurance on for an acre. A neighbor does a resurvey, come to find out, and your property comes back, it's only a half acre. They'll actually prorate you, you know, that money that was involved, because they you know, the deed had showed an acre. Like, there's a lot that goes into this stuff, on why it's a good thing. But again, as I mentioned, I'll do a couple different videos off of this situation, but I wanted to use this situation to go tell you guys how important freaking title insurance is, because lenders will require it. If you cannot get insurance on it, then a lender will not loan on it. Therefore, you can only sell it to a cash buyer, and then the title company then has to make them sign a waiver. If you're doing it through a real estate agent, basically make them sign a waiver saying that they're, you know, waiving their rights to title insurance, and that's a scary thing. I've seen people do it in many situations, and some situations not a big deal, so, you know, especially if it's a forever situation. But for a lot of people, you know, real estate's not always a forever situation. So yeah, again, be more videos to come on this situation, but get title insurance. That's it. Get it. It's forever. We'll see you.